All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Another victory Monday here in Tampa Bay, 29-27 home opener victory against the New York Jets yesterday. I know this game came down to the wire, but we're going to be breaking down all the tape, probably way too much film in this video here. But I'm honestly watching the tape back. I'm more impressed with this victory. It's the National Football League. Anything can happen. Really the game shouldn't have come down to that special teams blunder, blocked field goal for the touchdown. But we're going to break it all down. So many offensive line injuries, and Tampa just keeps winning. They keep driving the ball down the field and scoring when they need to score, and Tampa is 3-0. So without further ado, let's hop into this film study. All right, guys, we're going to start it off with the defense here because I think this defense did a really good job in this football game. And like I said, had it not have been for that blocked field goal, first off, this defense really only gave up 20 points. They put their offense in a position to win this football game. We're going to go through so much tape. I'm going to try and run through it because we almost have too much to talk about. The guy just highlighted right there, that's rookie Jacob Parrish. Jacob Parrish has had a phenomenal start to this season, and you see him just kind of dropping into coverage here. Tight end chips him, or looks like the running back might chip him right there, and Tyrod's moving out of the pocket. Now, Tyrod Taylor, real savvy veteran, he really never gave up in this football game, and he was kind of done dirty a couple of years ago, but it's neither here nor there. He's flaunting the pass, and Jacob Parrish just decides, I'm going to go downhill, and I'm going to grab Tyrod Taylor, and this is almost a sack here. This is a gain of 1 yard, so stop him for just 1 yard. You have a lot of rookies coming to the National Football League, and they're not able to tackle, and that has just not been the issue for Jacob Parrish. Benjamin Morrison, the rookie out of Notre Dame, he also had a great game, and I think our next clip, we're going to showcase a little bit of this, but you're going to see Jacob Parrish in a couple of these clips because the guy's a gamer already. So here we go. We got Benjamin Morrison. Now, I want to say, I'll just show it to you before we even get into it. He's going to make the open field tackle here for a -4 yards. First down, it is 10-6 Tampa's way at the time of this play. I think Menbow here, the right tackle for New York, I think he does not fully understand this because he kind of chips this offense or the edge player and then gets out into the open. So I'm assuming he's probably supposed to get out here right away and block. But anyways, one-on-one opportunity here for Arian Smith, the speedster rookie for the New York Jets. Benjamin Morrison, the rookie out of Notre Dame. I'm a biased Notre Dame football fan. Once again, we talk about rookies coming into the National Football League, and they're not always able to tackle. Tackling is a huge issue in the league just in general, and you got to be able to tackle if you want to win football games, and that's exactly what Benjamin Morrison does here for a loss of 4 yards. He had a really good coverage game, and I wanted to show you this tackle. All right, folks, we got 4th and 1 here, still 10-6 later on in that possession. It's 4th and 1 though, and we're going to talk about this offense. It's going to be a little bit later on in the video because I really think this defense, a lot of good performances coming defensively here. Offensively, they put up 29 total points in this. You had the Jamel Dean pick 6, but there's so many moving parts on offense, on that offensive line, and we're going to break it all down. But if anyone was worried about that offense, Mike Evans, we'll get into that in a couple of minutes here. But what I'm looking at here, once again, is 4th and 1. Now, we got Hassan Reddick here. All of these Jets offensive linemen, they're moving to their left. All right, they're trying to get this ball to the left. This is a bad visual representation. But this is 4th and 1. You also got Tyke Smith, number 23 right here. But Hassan Reddick, the guy just misses his block. He gets low, gets that shoulder in there, comes into the backfield, disrupts this, loss of 1, turnover on downs, and it is now Tampa Bay's football. And also thought Yaya Diaby, who we love on this channel, had a really good football game. You kind of see here, he sets this edge perfectly. If he doesn't set this edge, maybe, Braylon Allen, tries to get outside here. You're just trying to pick up 1 yard, but Hassan Reddick, Tyke Smith, and Yaya Diaby make sure that that does not happen. So even further from that last clip, I think Hassan Reddick's had a really good start to his career down in Tampa Bay. And it's something that doesn't show up in the stat sheet too much because, even though this is going to be a tackle for Hassan Reddick here, most people, when you're looking at edge rushers, the only metric anybody's really looking at is sacks. Hassan's done a good job in run defense. He's done a good job at getting to the quarterback. And I think he had a really good football game. Now, what you see initially is all these Jets linemen, they're trying to move to the left here, and you're going to see Yaya Diaby A little bit of confusion here. I think Mason Taylor is this. Looks like Mason Taylor, 85 right here. Looks like he messes up this run block because him and the left tackle they butt heads. Fashanu, they get it right here. So Yaya is able, with this split second here, you're not going to be able to block him at all. He gets low. He kind of hits, was this Breece Hall right here, and then Hassan Reddick. So the pocket has already been collapsed, and Hassan Reddick comes in here for the open field tackle. And I thought he had a really good football game, even if it's just small, simple stuff like this. So speaking of flowers, I think Todd Bowles deserves a lot of praise here for the defensive schemes he's whipping up here. We've got 3rd and 7. There's 3 minutes left in the first half, till still 10-6 Tampa's way. And you're going to have Hassan Reddick drop into coverage. Servassier, number 8 right here, he's going to be blitzing. All right, and Braylon Allen, it looks like, that's going to be Isaiah Davis. He comes in to pick this up. Once again, they're bringing all their pressure here on this right side. You got Yaya. Antoine Winfield's just going to jump this. He's going to find a gap and just get right on in here. So Isaiah Davis, is picking up Servassier. They're bringing Antoine in the slot here. He's too late. Left guard is too late. Winfield hits Tyrod Taylor, and then the ball falls right into Vita Vea's hands. So Tampa was good at forcing pressure. You had a mobile quarterback. You don't have too much game film on Tyrod Taylor. They really stopped the run. Specifically, Tyrod had some nice carries getting out of the pocket. But Breece Hall, starting running back for the Jets, he had nowhere to go this whole football game. They had 4 total sacks. They had this forced fumble. They had a pick 6. We're going to show you the pick 6 in a second. And I thought Antoine Winfield Jr., this was by far the best game of his season. But he looks like he is back. He was the best player on defense for Tampa in this game, at least in my opinion. Maybe Jamel was number 1 because of that pick 6. But Antoine, welcome back, fully healthy Antoine Winfield Jr. So Tampa goes down the field a little bit. They kick the field goal. It's now 13-6, but there's only 1 minute and 36 seconds left in this first half, and it is 3rd down and 10. The player I just highlighted is Jacob Parrish. He's going to be blitzing off the nickel here, and he's going to get a clear look at Tyrod Taylor and bring him down for the sack. I also like Servassier, and I saw somebody wanting a Servassier film study from a couple of weeks ago, and maybe we'll get into that because he's a player who gets picked on a lot in the Bucs kind of media and fan world. I really like the way Servassier plays, but he holds down this coverage. I think everyone in coverage does a great job. Jacob Parrish obviously goes untouched, and the rookie gets a sack here. Tampa does such a good job at sending these nickels, these cornerbacks, these safeties, whether it's Antoine, whether it's Zion McCollum, Tyke Smith, now Jacob Parrish. They did a really good job defensive scheming this football game. So Tampa 3-and-outs it. Now there's only 28 seconds left on the clock. It's still 13-6, Tampa's way. But Tyrod Taylor's got a little bit of time. Now the guy we just pinpointed, Jacob Parrish, he's going to blitz once again here. And it's really going to disrupt this play. So he blitzes, and Breece Hall, the running back for the Jets, actually does a good job of chipping him. So he just barely misses Tyrod. But now Tyrod decides to throw this football. He's going to decide to throw this football to Garrett Wilson all the way over here. Here is Tyrod Taylor. He wants to throw this football across the field, essentially, at this point. And this is easy, clear as day. Jamel Dean jumps on top of this football immediately and runs this all the way back for a pick 6, a huge touchdown. This should have really, ended the football game. We're going to get to the offense in 2 clips, though, so we'll talk about it there. Alright guys, we're going to conclude our defensive portion of this video. If you guys want anything specific, any of these players, positional groups, please let me know down below. But I had to show you Yaya Diaby's sack because we've talked so much about him, and he gets a little bit of help here getting chipped by, can't tell who this is, if this is Mason Taylor or not, number 86. Gets inside, just breaks right through there, kind of gets a little bit of help, pushed right into the gap he's looking to hit. Runs right through these offensive linemen, and then this is usually where the quarterback is able to throw the football away or maybe even break Yaya's tackle here. My point just is Yaya Diaby is a player who could have 8 sacks, 12 sacks in a given season. It shows up on tape. It shows up on the film. The sack number just hasn't been there. So I love seeing this sack here from Yaya Diaby late in the football game. The guy's a phenomenal athlete, and I really think he is quickly on the rise in this Buccaneers defense. All right, finally, the offense. Here's the thing, man. You have a whole different group starting here, and it's just really interesting. You got Graham Barton as your left tackle. You've got Clean from practice squad at left guard. You've got a new center because Graham Barton's playing left tackle because of Tristan Wirfs. You've got a new right guard playing in Luke Haggard from the practice squad, who I actually thought had a phenomenal football game. You got an injured right tackle, so Charlie Heck starting there. It's really interesting, and it shows up in the run stats. Bucky Irvin ran 25 times for only 66 yards, averaging only 2.6 yards per carry. Now, it does need to be said that I think the New York Jets front seven is very talented. They got a lot of studs on that defensive line there. It's not an easy group to just run on. But players like Emeka and Baker Mayfield, even with this discombobulated offensive line, this is a phenomenal catch from Emeka right here, the one-handed grab, and he had a phenomenal football game, 6 catches, 85 yards. It looks a little, like I said, discombobulated. You're going to see some 3-and-outs. You're going to see some lack of run success, and that's just because of all the moving parts on the offensive line. The good news is they're getting healthy, and they're still moving the ball down the field. They're still winning football games, even with all these offensive line injuries. But one thing I'm definitely noticing and loving starting in week 1 is the Baker Mayfield to Emeka Egbuka connection and chemistry and timing and all of that fun stuff. It looks great. Now, from that last clip I just showed you, Tampa had still yet to score a touchdown, and it was 6-3 New York's way. So Baker, they need a touchdown here. And one player who had a phenomenal football game is Sterling Shepard, who's going to get this screen here on the RPO. We got Tez Johnson. He's going to try and get a block in here. But Sterling Shepard, 4 catches, 80 yards, the highest receiver for this Tampa team. He was really clutch, and you're going to see at least one more clip later on in the video where he just makes a big-time catch at a big time. And I'll show you right after this. It's the Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans touchdown. And we'll talk about Mike Evans' hamstring injury there in just 1 second. But Sterling Shepard, he has been vitally important to this banged-up wide receiver room for Tampa. So we've got Mike Evans here on a one-on-one, running an easy slant. Baker and him have this down. Now, I do want to say, and I wanted to show you this clip, because first off, it's Baker Mayfield's only touchdown of the day. They're going to get this 99% of the time. It's so good. Pretty good coverage here on Mike Evans, but he is able to track this football. He's got the inside shoulder, and they win this route. And like I said, it's the first touchdown, one only touchdown for Baker throwing the football. And I just saw Mike Evans' low-grade hamstring injury, so it looks like they really got away with a big one here. His MRI is set for Tuesday. It's currently Monday night when I'm making this, so we'll get a Mike Evans injury update to you guys tomorrow or Wednesday or whenever we get it. It's obviously extremely unideal. It is a low grade, though, so it really, truly looks like they missed out on the worst case scenario. So this kind of seems like best case, because when Mike Evans went down with that injury, it looked like his season was done, to just be honest. All right, we move to the fourth quarter here, and this drive and this play really should win the football game. And we're not going to talk about the blocked field goal. It was such a crazy week for special teams in general, but this is really the play where Baker Mayfield runs it for 33 yards here, and you get some nice blocks. We got some nice blocks going on down here. This really should have won the football game, and it's you're 3-0. It's the National Football League. Nothing is just given. Everything is earned, and Baker Mayfield, when the moment gets down to it, he always shows up. He always steps up. But obviously, this 33-yarder, they try and set up a field goal. It ends up getting blocked, so now there's a little over a minute, and Baker Mayfield's got to drive down the field and put this team in field goal position and win this football game. So I'll show you a couple of clips from that. All right, so here we go. There's 1 and 36 seconds left, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are down by 1 point. And this play right here, there's a very real argument that this pretty much wins them, or it doesn't necessarily win them the football game, but it puts them in position to win this football game. And this is 2nd and 10, and this is, of course, Emeka Egbuka, who just gets open. They have such a great chemistry already. Cade Otton, nice little route concept here, but this is becoming Very, very noticeable. And it was noticeable, like we said, with 2 touchdowns in game one for Emeka Egbuka in his rookie career debut. But this connection, it's very intriguing, man. When you have a healthy Mike Evans, a healthy Chris Godwin, a healthy Jalen McMillan, you've got all the running backs, you've got your healthy offensive line. This offense, and it's why they're like a top 5 team in every power rankings you read. They're a really good team, and now with Emeka, it's like a really, really good team. And he had such a huge game, 6 catches, 85 yards, and this one puts him into Jet territory to set up this field goal. So 2 plays later, Houston Sterling Shepard, and he's going to run this for 20 yards, and this essentially wins the game, or at least once again puts them in a position to win this football game. Great play call here from Josh Grizzard, in my opinion. Now, it's not all easy. This ball gets out a little bit too slow because of the edge rusher, or actually, sorry, the cornerback blitzing. So Baker's got to throw this ball a little bit different, a little bit above him, and it's just a split seconds. We're talking about split seconds. So, this could possibly be a touchdown. We got one block here. We got one block here. But this Jet player right here, he's right there, and Sterling, maybe should bring this outside, but it actually looks like he would get tackled on the outside here. He's going to miss this tackle, miss another tackle, and he's going to get a gain of 20. Now they're on the 15-yard line, and all Chase McLaughlin's got to do is kick it through the uprights, and Tampa Bay has won this football game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude our Week 3 film study recap of the Bucs win over the New York Jets. Let me know if you guys enjoy this style of content. We've been posting it, at a pretty regular basis every day, 2 days, 3 days on this channel. Every like is very appreciated. Let me know your player of the game down below. And as always, if you guys want a specific film study, whether it's a player, a positional group, anything like that for Tampa Bay in the next week or so, let me know down below. But thank you for watching. Let me know your player of the game, and we will see you soon. Peace.